movies and videos. While I'm with my freak like we up in the freak shows. Hit you with the shit, make you feel it all in your toes. Hot shh, got all my people in red clothes. Styling my metaphors when I formulate my flows. If you don't know, you're messing with lyrical player pros like that. Wanna party with me?
Greetings to all individuals. I am Furman Jackson Jr., broadcasting from the Dallas-Fort Worth, Texas metropolitan area. You are currently tuned into the Walking This Way Impact Voice podcast. Today, we have the esteemed privilege of conversating with Sheena D Horne, who is hailing from Washington, D.C. Sheena is a renowned American playwright, screenwriter, author, publisher, actor, and founder of the SDH Entertainment LLC. Welcome, Sheena, to the podcast of Walking This Way Impact Voice. I know you're no stranger to the platform. I appreciate you taking time on your productive schedule to come on. Of course, no jam with Busta Rhymes with the countdown, of course, old school Busta Rhymes joint.
Absolutely.
So what's been going on with you? How everything been? I know you do a lot of great things. So welcome, of course.
Thank you. Thank you for having me on. I definitely appreciate it. You definitely have me over here jamming. You know what I'm saying? The old school. It always hit. It ain't nothing like it no more.
And you know, it's really not. Because like when I go to the gym now and like my music playlist, I have like the clips, remember the clips grinding. I had that on my playlist. A lot of old school stuff that was part, of our generation. You want to say that's what I still listen to. I listen to some new age stuff, but mostly I'm on to the old school stuff. I'm not into all the other new age stuff. So just a few old. Well, anyway. But I kind of tend to like the old way of doing things. I mean, new way is cool, but it is something like that old way, that old mentality. That work ethic. Back in the day, before social media, you didn't have no social media back in the day. You had to get out here in these streets. You had to get in people's faces. Especially you had a goal, you had a dream. Remember back in the day, we had a dream. You inspired to be great. You used to be up all night thinking about how successful you want to be when you got older. If you came, whatever background you came from, you inspired to take your family from that, whether you maybe came from a poverty-stricken area to, I want to take my family to a lifetime of success and financial freedom and all the other great stuff, which people are doing that today still. But it was just some back then where everybody had that one goal in mind. And that's really the title of the nice episode, setting your goals higher than your obstacles. And that's something I got from you. So elaborate, give us the background on how you set your goals higher than your obstacles.
Wow. Okay. So when I came up with, actually, I believe that I've heard someone say it. I'm not going to take credit for it. I'm not going to say I came up with that completely on my own. I feel like I heard someone say it. I do not remember when, but my thought on it was we know that there's always going to be an obstacle that we may face in life. So setting your goals higher than your obstacles means to put your goals at a certain level that it's going to be obtainable regardless of the obstacles that you're going to face. You know what I mean? And then just knowing how to overcome those obstacles.
And that's when our true character comes out. How do you deal with adversity? Everything going good when you winning and a win streak good, but when you catch an L, which is a loss, do you still maintain that same winning mindset? Do you still keep that same composure when the loss comes? Or you may have a bad show, or you may a deal didn't go the way you wanted to go, but do you still keep, as they say, keep that same energy? And that's really determines who we really are. It really determines, are we ready when we go through these obstacles, when we go through this adversity, and how do we maintain it? A lot of time when we going through things or someone offend us, we lash out the wrong way instead of maintaining that professionalism. Because at the end of the day, it's all about protecting our brand. at the end of the day.
Absolutely.
How I come off towards you, how do I respond to you? All that stuff we still have to maintain being professional, especially in our line of work in this industry that we're in. And I know I'm saying that, but what you want to say about it?
Oh no, I was just absolutely agreeing with everything that you were saying. And it is like, how are you going to act when things aren't going your way? I've had experiences where everything didn't go exactly the way that I wanted it to go. Um, I would say that sometimes it is hard to stay encouraged. You know what I mean? When you had something, when you know that you have something so great on your hands and it doesn't necessarily turn out the way that you saw fit for it to turn out. But things that I would do to get myself back there is to remember my greatness. You know what I mean? And then also just knowing that I have a divine gift. Like, I was really blessed with this gift to be able to create dynamic scripts. So yeah, I definitely get it.
And like I said, you still maintaining setting your goals. And I know you do a lot of great work. And I know you've been in this industry for a very, very long time. This is something you did not start overnight. This is something you've been through for years. You've perfected it. How did you know you wanted to be in this industry when it comes to writing, producing, acting? You always knew you wanted to be in this industry?
You know,
Or
no, when I growing up, I wanted to be a pediatrics because
really?
I loved my doctor. Like, I used to be so happy to go to the doctor. I was one of those kids. I was like, well, probably very few weird kids who like to go to the doctor. I used to love going to the doctor. Very weird. I used to love getting needles.
Really?
Yeah, I know that's so weird. I used to be so
Hey.
But then I guess it was also, when you think about it, it's that good feeling because every time we used to leave the doctor, my mom would buy me like a hot dog soda and chips. So that was like my treat for being good at the doctor. So I don't know. I guess you know how that stimulation assists people in like in life or
Right.
whatever, and dealing with certain things. But growing up, it was funny. My aunt used to tell me, like, you're so funny. Like, you should be a comedian. And I was like, was I like 8, 9 years old? Like, just saying stuff. But really what struck my interest is A Raisin in the Sun, like the stage play by Lorraine Hansberry. It was just something about it that like caught my eye. And I was like, wow, like that's amazing. And also Moesha. When I watched Moesha, I think I was like 9 years old, and I was like, oh wow, that's what I want to do. Now at that time, I wanted to be on the other end of things, like being on camera.
Okay.
Which I haven't done. I haven't really dabbed into too much. Like when I do my stage plays, I really try not to write myself in there because for me, it takes a certain level of experience, I will admit, to be able to direct a stage play and be in it. Like you have to pay attention to like every detail, plus make sure that you are delivering the things that you are delivering. Did I answer your question? Because I just got.
Yeah, you really did. Yeah, you really did. You really did. I have to say, you really did. But it's all about extraordinary people doing extraordinary things, and I know you want individuals who are doing extraordinary things. Around the D.C. area. Not only that, creating jobs for individuals, giving individuals opportunities to showcase their skills. I know when you did your play on Crucified. That was last year, right? Last year when you did it. And it was it last year, late last year, early, I think around October last year.
Recently? Yeah, October.
Yeah.
And then, oh yeah, it was October. God, Lee, time is flying.
Yeah,
Yes.
time. Yeah, it is. And
Yeah.
but it was a two night. It was that weekend, that Friday and a Saturday of Crucified. And I know it was a big stage performance. Big turnout. I know you sent me the videos of how it all turned out. But the most important thing is just giving back to your community, giving back to those who have a desire to get before people, to showcase their skills and showcase their talent before the world. And now that you're telling the story.
Yeah.
And when you wrote this, when you put Crucified together, what was going through your mind at that time when you visioned this? And not only that, you've seen it come to pass. You've seen the fruition of it. Just take us to the beginning on when this came about to the point where, oh, wow, I actually see my work come before me and I'm seeing people gravitate towards the work that I'm doing.
Yes. Okay. So first I wanted to say, so the 2 shows that you were talking about, that was in April of last year.
Oh, my bad. Well, I said
Yeah,
April, October.
Yeah, no problem. The two shows that we basically was sold out. We had WHUR here in Washington D.C. We had the DJ Stretch from WHUR was the MC for the show. So we was posted up on the radio and things like that. So that definitely helps. So big shout out to them for allowing us on their platform and things like that. And also, I just wanted to touch base real quick. So we had like 2 amazing, successful shows in April. Everyone loved it. Like everyone's like, when are you going to do the show again? When are you going to do the show again? Of course, we know like with theaters, you have to book a theater a year in advance. So everybody wanted the show like right now. And in doing that, I went to book a theater, which was for the October show. Now, this is one of the downfall moments that we can speak about because that show did not turn out the way that I wanted it to turn out. Relatively, I would say everything in the whole grand scheme of things. I'm just being honest. As far as the performance overall, the turnout of the show and things like that. So that was like, that was a punch like right in my stomach, you know what I mean? Because I'm like, wait a minute, like what is going on here? But I understand, we just have to go through these different battles and for me, it's like, well, how bad do you want it? You know what I'm saying? So that situation happened. Are you about to stop or what? And then I'll also kind of get into that a little bit later because it is my goal to have Crucified go on tour. I just have things that I have to take care of, make sure I have all my ends covered before moving forward. But it will be on tour very soon. So Crucified.
Oh yeah. Go ahead.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, you go ahead and finish.
Oh, okay. So Crucified, the way that I came up with it, to be totally honest, is I based it off of my life and the things that I was going through when the transition of my mother happened. I basically laid all my there. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. I told on myself and, the things in a way that I was acting when I was excessively intaking alcohol. And also I told the story of a burden that I had been carrying around with me from the time that I was a kid all the way to adulthood. So yeah, I mean, that's basically where it came from. And it was relatable to so many people. We had people in the audience laughing. We had them crying. And then they was like laughing and crying at the same time. They didn't know which one they wanted to do because, it's so emotional. And I made sure to balance it out with like a lot of good comedy because it is really hard. The show is based off of like, can I say molestation on here?
Yeah, you can. It's all about being, you can say it.
The show is based off of molestation and things like that. So it helped to bring light to people. Some people who were dealing with it or knew somebody else who was dealing with it and it affected them and things like that. So it definitely helped to bring light to something because, I don't know about everybody else, but the rule in my family was like what happened in the house, stay in the house and things like that. A lot of stuff gets swept under the rug. It is definitely good to like bring things to the forefront. And it was very inspiring to me and very therapeutic to just be able to write it and help somebody. I got a whole bunch of backlash for it though. From my family. They didn't think I should be writing about because they felt like that was somebody else's story to tell, but it was also my story because it deals with me. And I don't want to give away too much of what it's about, so I don't want to dig deep into it. But it basically dealt with me, and dealt with my family unit, as far as siblings, parents, and things like that. So I felt like it was my story to tell, and I'm gonna continue to tell it.
And you know what? And that's what it's all about. It's all about sharing your story. It's all about helping someone. I'm glad now we're in the time now, as they say, being transparent, having these uncomfortable conversations. I'm just gonna go biblical for a moment. And I say this sometime on the show. It's like what the Bible says: Adam and Eve were naked and they was not ashamed at all. And that's how we should be. We should be naked. When you're naked, you show everything, right? Mm-hmm. But not be ashamed of it. And I know a lot of times the delusion of guilt, shame comes in where we're scared to let someone know what we went through or what we experienced because of the judgmental mentality. You may look at me different. But if we're together, we should be open with each other. We should be honest with each other. We should, within our inner circle, I want to say, behind the back end, where we're expressing these things, talking about these things, helping each other out. Because you got to realize people, some form of fashion, deal with trauma from their childhood. If I read a book, The Laws of Human Nature, everything goes back to childhood. Mm-hmm. Behavior issues. You may witness, alcoholism, molestation, abuse, where you may see your mom getting physically abused by your father, that kind of stuff that was in the house. Mm-hmm. But that affected us as children.
Absolutely.
But we never really got the proper help. What that does, Sheena, it affects us. It affects us in our businesses. It affects us in other relationships until we get a hold of, I really do need help. That's the first thing they teach. I ain't never been to AA, but I know the first thing they teach you is admit that you have a problem. Mm-hmm. And that's when we have to admit, hey, I have a problem and I need to sit down. I need to talk to somebody about it. Drop the pride, drop the ego, and go get some professional help. It's not wrong. If you need to go get some therapy, go get some therapy. It's nothing wrong with that. Just drop your pride, drop your ego. But I'm glad now we're starting to talk about these things now, where it can bring forth healing. Absolutely. It can bring forth freedom, and not to be afraid. I don't want to look down on you. I don't want you to look down on me, not judge you. And that's what it is. We get scared of being judged. Help me out. If that makes sense.
That definitely does make sense, Furman. And I, for a long time, I didn't like when people would tell me that, when, even because I started drinking when I was 13 years old. I was very young, had no business being next to any type of alcohol. But, even friends at that time be like, girl, you an alcoholic. And it's like, no, I'm not. I'm just drinking. Like, what are you talking about? And it's crazy because, at that time you're like, well, it's just something to do, and then it's like, well, everybody else is doing this, so I don't see anything wrong with it. I actually wrote that line I'm writing a memoir right now, based off of my alcoholism that I dealt with. So yeah, that's crazy. That just popped in my head. So, it was hard for me to admit it, and I would get mad. But also, we have to understand that when you are dealing with someone who is a substance abuser, they don't like to hear that they have a problem, and they're automatically going to become defensive. But you have to understand that it's not them that's being defensive. It's the substance that's making them be defensive. You know what I mean? Because now I could look back at it and somebody could say, yeah, you was alcohol. I'm like, yeah, you're damn right I was. But back then I would get pissed. Like, don't tell me that. I'm not no alcoholic. And then I would go to the store and get something to drink because they just piss me off. Like,
right. But that was your way of escaping the realities where you was going through, where you're dealing with. Cause like you said, you was not able to talk about what happened downstairs in the house. So it was your reality, your I won't say your reality, but your gateway of the pain, the disappointment of going through these things and coping with these things. And when people say that to you, you get offended about it, but then you didn't see anything. Didn't see anything right at that time. But when did you realize that, hey, enough was enough? When did you grab hold that this could take me down a road further and further away from what I was dealing with? And how do you cope with all that?
Well, for me, it was a line of events that was continuously happening back to back. But even during those events, like, I knew that I needed to stop, but I didn't care. I'm not gonna say I didn't care about the things that happened, but I didn't care to stop. You know, okay, baby, give me 1 second, okay? I'm doing the interview real quick, okay? And it's too late. It's 8:30. Your eyes hurting? Okay, you probably need to put a little bit of water in it. I'll be there. Give me a little while, okay? Close the door, please. Sorry, guys.
Nah,
you know how it is being a mommy. I would say that it was a line of different events. One of the things that I could say that I really truly regret is becoming highly intoxicated and speaking to my mom the way that I did. And that's also a part of Crucified. So that event happened. Also, I want to just shed light on this too. So during the time period that I talk about a little bit in Crucified is that I was actually going through a breakup, right? I was with a guy who said he didn't want to be with me anymore because I had a child, although he knew I had a child. So prior to that, my brother-in-law had just passed away like 9 months earlier. So like that like really shocked me because he was really young. And then my mom passed away. So it was just like, things like wham, 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 like trying to beat me up. So yeah, that situation happened. But after that situation, I like a month later, I found out I was pregnant. So I just completely stopped drinking altogether, obviously. And I was mad. I ain't gonna lie. I was mad. I was like, dang it, I'm still grieving over my mama. Now I'm pregnant. I think I was really more mad because I had to stop drinking. So that event happened. I will tell you about other events, but I don't want to incriminate myself. So
right. I'm mad. You good.
Let's just say that there was a long line of events. But most recently, like things that what really made me want to stop is that I felt like I was about to die. I had to go to the hospital. I was hospitalized for drinking too damn much. Like I was not eating. I was just drinking because I'm like still grieving over my mom. And then, you know, I don't talk to any of my family anymore on my mom's side. So, you know, all of that is like a different transition because we all grew up like so close.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So for me, the last straw was just like, so you just gonna go ahead and die on your kids? You know, that was my what I said to myself. And ever since then, I was just like, nah, I can't do this no more. So I just stopped cold turkey. I didn't, well, you know, and I understand people do need AA and stuff like that because I was almost about to ship myself off to a 30-day program. Like I was like, I really need to stop. Yeah, but I just stopped. It's not easy though. It's not easy for anybody who has dealt with substance abuse for a long time. You still have thoughts about it. Like, you know what I mean? Like, who wouldn't want to just be able to come home and be like, let me just pop over this bottle of wine and take a few sips. You know what I mean? So
Yeah, because we was never taught to be able to talk about a lot of things. We was never taught to communicate. You got to think about what our parents did. They only got the information that their parents passed on to them, and their parents passed on to where we never really talked about a lot of things. We never addressed a lot of things. We never got to the root of a lot of things per se. It's like, for example, they used to have these commercials like "Don't do drugs, say no to drugs." Why not take drugs? Because I said so. So that's people curiosity. Okay, they keep saying, what do drugs do? I want to know, what do drugs do? Well, if people got turned on to drugs, but just imagine, I'm just using this analogy, but just imagine if we would have sit down and explain, like what the scripture say, with the Bible, without our get a good understanding. If we presented the understanding of why not take drugs, why not do drugs, why not drink, if someone to sit it down and say, well, this is what happened when if you start drinking A, B, C, D, this is what happened to you. Instead of saying, well, don't drink. That's all you saying. But just to break it down. Now, if I explain it to you, now I give you what? A choice. Now, if you have to make the choice. Now, okay, I explained it to you, but now it's up to you whether you're going to pursue it, follow through with it, or you're going to say, you know what? It come to think about it, I don't want to do that. Sounds pretty bad. If we had these conversations back then, because it's like when it came to sex wasn't talked about at home. We didn't know a thing about sex when we got outside the house, and you probably had that uncle who had those naked magazines and no pornographies and got a hold to. You sneak and watch this stuff, but that kind of stuff was never really talked about until we got out in the opening, and we talked about a lot of things. Now in this generation, a lot of things are being addressed now compared to ours, which I know at the time parents wanted to protect us from a lot of things. Some people got exposed, some people never bounced back from it. Some went down that road and bounced back, like smoking. You know, you never smoked in your life, but you wanted to try smoking, and when you tried it, you didn't like it. But just imagine if they would have sat down with us and explained to us the repercussions of our decision making. What you want to say about that one, if that makes sense?
Yeah, I mean, I agree with you to a certain extent. I feel like everyone has their own journey that they are supposed to experience for whatever reason. Like me, I feel like I was supposed to experience everything that I have experienced, you know. If not, I wouldn't be able to have came up with such a dynamic stage play. I wouldn't be able to right now be hosting a alcoholic alcoholic recovery hike, excuse me.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like there's only so much that parents can actually do because we still have our own mind, you know, as we grow, we still have our own minds. And then also to touch base on that, it's hard to tell your child not to do something and you're doing it. You know what I mean? You can't tell your child not to drink and you're drinking. You can't tell your child not to smoke and you're smoking. So, and you know, I grew up in a family where they had drinks. I wouldn't say they had a lot of drinks. I don't think I ever seen them like drink like hardcore stuff.
Right.
More like beers and things like that. And, you know, cousins who are probably like 10 years my senior, I seen them drinking like hardcore stuff and things like that. But I really feel like everyone has their own individual journey. I mean, I know they said raise up a child in a way that they should go. However, I still feel like everyone just has their own journey that they're supposed to experience for whatever reason, you know, for whatever reason that they came to this planet to be here to learn whatever lessons that they were supposed to learn.
Yeah, a lot of times you can learn through other people's experience. You hear like the old head stories. They will give you stories on what they went through. A lot of times when you go through stuff for other individuals that make sense. But it's up to other individuals to learn from what you went through and what you experienced. And hey, before you go down this path, let me let you know I've been down that path. It's not a good path. I'm gonna sit down and explain to you. Now, at the end of the day, you still have to make that decision because at the end of the day, you're a free moral age. You can do what you want to do. But I'm just gonna give you the ins and out. But at the end of the day, it's still up to you where you're gonna follow through. And not like when people say they want advice, 9 out of 10, they gonna just at the end of the day, you still gonna do what you want to do regardless. At the end of the day, if that makes sense.
Yeah, absolutely. And for me, growing up, I didn't have my father in my life. But I was always told that he was a good man had he had stopped that drinking. So it's kind of like, I don't want to say it's like in my bloodline or nothing like that.
Right,
that
right.
sounds a little crazy, but you know what I'm saying? He experienced that. So he probably would have been a person that should be able to tell me, like, you don't want to travel down that road. But the funny thing is, for me, is that I don't know if you ever heard of a natal chart.
Sounds familiar. But break it
So
down.
it's when you input your information, your the day that you were born, the month, the year, date, month, year, and the time. And basically it shows you like where the planets and the stars and things were aligned, like upon your birth.
Mm-hmm.
And then they have these certain websites that kind of breaks it down for you. And in that, because it really tells you like everything about you. Like you would read it and be like, dang, how do you know this about me? Like it's crazy. But within that, it said that I will lose people because of basically alcohol. I'm so serious, for me. That's why I feel like everything is divine. Like, you know what I mean? And I don't know. I think during that time I probably was still drinking while I was reading it.
Hey, man, you know what? I take your word for I really do. Hey, we're gonna take a quick commercial break, and after that, we're gonna finish up our conversation. After this commercial break.
We gripping it with 2 hands. Back touchdown, you know you running through that. Bad, ooh yeah, she love it when I do that. Pull her hair with rumble from the back, grip her with 2 hands. Spinning for a 2-piece, well I meant to say 2 bands. Everybody meet a man, but I already knew that.
Like a Corleone, bringing that pressure to all of the opposite. Kill you see it, a block miss. On the block with a Glock hanging out the bin. Got a face and I swear I'm gon' make them feel it. Out the top of the drop when I let up a sin. Wanna live like this shit, be a part of the beat. Wanna come like this shit, better change your attention. In that order, I'm a chief that I mentioned. On in your 40 and see how you get. Beat up, I'm disrespecting them. Wisdom gon' come when you see what is written. Under the sand, gotta see what been hidden. Ain't got no money, but flooded a pendant. Come in the strip, but can't live in a prison. Ain't cut like this, it ain't even be. You must be dumb. Damn.
Spinning for a 2-piece, well I meant to say 2 bands. I just bought a 2-piece, cooking it in 2 pans. We gripping it with 2 hands. Back touchdown, you know you running through that. Bad, ooh yeah, she love it when I.
Hey, what's up, everybody? We're back here on the Walking This Way Impact What's podcast. Go ahead and shop with us. Have t-shirts available on my website, of course. T-shirts there, of course. Big shout out to True C. He designed a couple of t-shirts. And I got into the thing of designing my t-shirts as well. So I train myself as I go. But we have t-shirts available on the website, of course, to go ahead and buy some t-shirts. Men and tees are available. I also got some affiliates with Vivid as well. Vivid Home, Smart Home, and Business Security. So I will be posting that on my page. So if you're interested in the home security system, I'm going to let you use my code, get a discount, and that help goes towards the podcast. So I don't like to say the word try, but doing some big things. Elevation and growth. That's what it's all about. So I'm back with the lovely good friend of mine, Sheena D, out of Washington, D.C., a very extraordinary young woman, very extraordinary talent, very gifted, creative. And I know we had some very closeness with each other because I know we had talked behind the scenes and we really built a relationship. We built a bond there. And it's like going through this journey. Cause I know you were going through some things at that time, but we still kept that tight knit and we talked and everything else. And that's why, when God allows you to cross paths with people, it's for a reason, I do believe. Absolutely. But even though we never seen each other in person, but we always kept that bond, and we always kept that that relationship and the communication going. How is it being? So then you got back into the thing. I know the podcasting, of course, you do podcasts, so you back doing that again. Great show. I do check it out, and I know is it every Wednesday? Is it every other Wednesday? What's the schedule on that? So we can go ahead.
Wednesday. It's every Wednesday at 8. But I did skip a Wednesday because sis was tired. I was just worn out. I was like, I don't feel like editing nothing. But it's every Wednesday at 8:00 on YouTube.
Yeah. So y'all go ahead and check out her platform. She has a very extraordinary guest that's on her platform that is on there every Wednesday. So the media world, you are in the entertainment industry, of course.
Yeah.
And so do you love the world of entertainment? The world, I know you love the world of entertainment because you are in the entertainment industry, but just to hold the manners of creating your platform, but giving individual that safe place to come, what they say, and have a transparent moment. So is your platform, do you consider your platform a safe place for an individual to come to express and share the things they got going on, the things they're doing to help others?
Absolutely. So I created Straight Outta Commit. It's a podcast that basically, what's the word I'm looking for? We are basically helping to encourage and support those of the melanated community and whatever it is that they're doing, whatever, whether they're writing a book, whether they are a talk show host, or, anything that it is that they're doing is basically a platform for them to come and be able to promote themselves. Absolutely.
And like I said, it's a great show. The speaking, the conversation, the interaction, the freedom. That's why I love when you do these shows. Especially with, I'll take that back. Certain individuals you could vibe with, certain individuals like, we need to go ahead and cut it short. I had shows, I had done that before. But when I have like individuals yourself when you're on here, the flow is on point, the chemistry is on point, just the interaction. And that's what you want, the freedom, the floativity, where people who are watching are like, wow, I'm feeling it. I like what she's saying. I can relate to what she's saying. Mm-hmm. And it's not being so tight, but the flow is really, really on point. And that's what it's all about. And like I said, I know the things that you went through and I know the things you experienced. Mm-hmm. Do you felt that lined up to where you are today, that you went through this and that it lines you up with what you're doing today when it comes to the industry that you're in today with the entertainment? There's all that stuff that you...
With the industry that I'm in, well, I feel like my life is in direct alignment. You know what I mean? Like everything I was supposed to experience, I experienced. So as far as with the things that I went through, what that has helped me to do is to build a thicker skin. You know what I mean? I was just having this discussion with someone. Oh, actually, it was on my podcast. And I was just basically saying that after my mom had passed away, that was my second parent gone. You know what I mean? Both my parents gone. So yeah. And I was like, I have to find out who is Sheena. You know what I mean? Because I felt like I was living under what everyone else wanted for me to a certain extent, to a certain extent, because I was still always just my own person. I probably was the most rebellious one out of all my own kids, but I felt like I was still living under to what other people wanted. So it really took me on a journey of like finding out who I am, and I had to grow up. I was a mom, but I was a mom living with my mom. Right. You know what I mean? So it was like I had to step into this whole new part of womanhood that I did not know anything about. So yeah, I definitely believe that the things that I have went through has helped to progress me and, put me back on my path of positivity and knowing that what's meant to be is meant to be. and knowing that at the end of the day, you know, the divine has my back 100%.
Right. And it's all about looking forward, right? Looking forward to the greater things. And I do believe in greatness. I do believe in success in all aspects of life. And on that journey of adulthood, you know, okay, I went through that in my childhood. Now, okay, now I stepped up into adulthood. Now, being a parent. Well, I'm not a parent, but I have parents, but I'm not a parent. But one day, I would love to have children. You know what I'm saying? One day, I would love to be married. That's the next thing I look forward to is
I'd love to
marriage.
be married one day too.
Yeah, I look forward to that. I think it's fun. But it takes two willing people to make a thing work, Sheena. That's how I look at it. It takes two
Yeah.
willing people to make a relationship work, make a marriage work, be successful. That's why I say all the time, you know, it's all about having a successful marriage. And I do believe that having a successful marriage, having successful children. That's just my mentality. That's my way, my world. Because at the end of the day, ladies and gentlemen, you can't create your own world. You can't create we are creative beings. You create with your words, you create with your actions. So I put that in the atmosphere, and I tell myself that all the time that, hey, successful marriage, successful family. And marriage is not okie dory feeling, but it's a principle while we together. That's how I look at it. It's an assignment while we together for, while we decide to come together for the common good. That's just my mentality. Building our kingdom, building our empire. That's just my mentality. Because I'm like, we in the world, but we're not of the world. So we do think we move differently. That's how I look at it. But the whole creativity, creating aspects of it. But like I say, you are a mother. And I know you want the best for your children.
Absolutely.
You know, any mother do. And it's like, you know what? I want to have a life that they don't have to go down that path that I went down to when I was a child. But you want that health. I always believe in that, Shane. I always believe that children should be raised in a healthy environment. I always believe that. When they come home, they should know, okay, I'm safe when I'm at home.
Yeah.
They should know when I'm home, I'm not being mistreated. They know when they're home, I'm not being abused physically or mentally or sexually. That when they come home, I always believe in that. Raise children up in a healthy environment. I always believe in that. I don't want to raise no children in a toxic environment, because we see that right now in our communities. Children don't ask to come here, and I hate that they have to go through these things, Sheena, with certain adults, and some children suffer because of what they have to went through and they experience. What you want to say about that?
Well, for me, you know, my the way I think sometimes is a little different. I don't feel like that children don't ask to come here, but I do understand, you know, why it is said that children don't ask to come here. But I feel like I don't want to get too deep, like, because I'm about to go down this whole little rabbit hole. But I feel like that we make let's say this. I feel like we are light beings. You know what I mean? Once we come here to the planet, once we decide to birth into the planet, we become very dense in nature. We become heavy, and we forget, so to speak, our conversations with the divine, the creator. Because I mean, you know, I feel like before we came here, we were with, you know, one with the divine, completely one. You know, we wasn't in a physical form. And we come here based off of assignment, whatever the assignment is that we're supposed to complete. I don't want to be sounding like well, really, I don't care what I sound like. I'm just telling you what I think. But
I mean, hey, when you're around me, I want you to express yourself. When you're around me, I want you to have total freedom. And that's what it's all about. What the spirit is, it's liberty. You know what I'm saying? So that's what it's all about. And before going any further, I want to give a big shout out to Miss D from 3 and 1 Trinity Service. She's in the comment section. She said, good word, no toxicity. She said, praying for the children, pray for peace, safety, and care. God loves the church. A big shout out to Miss D from 3 and 1 Trinity Service here in Dallas, Fort Worth, Texas. All right, get back to what you were saying. I just want to give a quick shout out.
I'm sorry, 1 second. Um,
Oh, go
is
ahead.
your grandma around? Sorry. Hello.
Why you do that?
Yeah.
Monday through Saturday, I open my Bible. Bible showed me how to walk in the spirit. Spirit of God, hell with decision. Shit that leads me straight to the prison. Fruit of the spirit, the heaven with water. Plant one growing with diamond water. Sunday sprinkles just not on the water. Words of Christ is water my soul. It fills my bowl, it overflow. To these souls that dry and cold. So lost without you, don't know where to go. Here I am, available so renewing my mind. Take out the time, study alone. Put down the phone. No distraction, no drama, no problem. All these things are given the phone. I'm walking the spirit. Just the flesh is not my thing. Obey what I say to do. Not just some Sunday man. I walk in the spirit. I talk in the spirit. I live in the spirit. I'm moving the spirit. Yeah, I'm walking the spirit. Just the flesh is not my thing. Obey what I say to do. Not just some Sunday man. I walk in the spirit. I talk in the spirit. I live in the spirit. I'm moving the spirit. Yeah. Early mornings will do hit the ground. Thinking your face, you show me around. Show me the place in the spiritual world. Placing more precious than diamonds and pearl. Value one more than the silver and gold. I follow your spirit wherever you go. I can't go a day without seeking you. Directions, all that's it come from you. You order my steps, green light my way. I know it's okay to do it that way. Peace about it, I know it's okay to do it your way. It's always say. Fruit of the spirit will grow on my tree. Can't walk in flesh and curse my tree. Loving goodness, meek and tender kindness that will come from me. I'm walking the spirit. Just the flesh is not my thing. Obey what I say to do. Not just some Sunday man. I walk in the spirit. I talk in the spirit. I live in the spirit. I'm moving the spirit. I'm walking the spirit. Just the flesh is not my thing. Obey what I say to do. Not just some Sunday man. I walk in the spirit. I talk in the spirit. I live in the spirit. I'm moving the spirit. Yeah.
Hey, we're back here on the Walking This Way Impact What's podcast. I'm your host, Furman Jackson Jr., broadcasting out of DFW, Dallas, Fort Worth, Texas. Big shout out to King David out of my hometown of Mobile, Alabama, walking the spirit. Big shout out to him. Also, with me in the studio, the virtual studio with me, is Sheena D Horne. She's an entrepreneur. She's a playwright. She's an actor. And a podcast out of the Washington D.C. area. So I thank her for taking time on her productive schedule as well. Also, I gotta commend you on your salads. When you had them pictures of them salads be on point. I just need you to send some salads here to Dallas. Gotta eat that salad all day, every day. Them salads be looking good. I love salad. So I gotta get you. I gotta get with you on them salads because them salads let it be on point.
Thank
really
you.
do.
Yes, I'm about to get my salads up and moving. I've been having a little stumbling block getting the website and stuff moving, but it's going to be up this weekend. Soulfullyrooted.com. Definitely.
Okay.
Obviously, it has to be in the D.C., Maryland, or Virginia area because I haven't looked how to ship a salad yet. But when I be sure to come your way, I will make you a salad.
Well, you know what? I'm gonna hold that to you, right? I'm gonna hold that. I'm gonna hold your feet to the fire there. So I want that sound. When you come the way to Dallas, I'm gonna hold your feet to that fire because I want that sound. Get them sound look pretty good. Just seeing a glimpse of it. But you know what? I love how you are. You utilizing your gifts. I love how you are being creative with things you do. And that's why I love interact with you, talking with you because you're doing great things, and that's what it's all about. Extraordinary individuals yourself doing extraordinary things. I know you're doing right. So what else we got going on? What is any new plays? Any new? I know you do a lot of skits too as well.
Yes,
So
I haven't done any skits as of recently. I have to feel very, I'm one of those people that I have to feel the creativity because I don't like
I
to
feel
just
you.
make skits about nothing, you know, and
I feel you.
because everything that I do, I like for it to have some type of impactful meaning behind it. So I kind of stopped doing the skits for a second because I want to make sure that I'm giving quality, not just putting something out there because I want to get some views. You know what I mean?
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree. I agree 1,000%. Whatever you do in life, you should put in 1,000%, especially when it comes. Yeah, I agree. I totally agree. It does. It's all about being the perfectionist. I do believe that. It's all about patience. It's all about timing. So I agree with you 1,000%. You don't want it because if you put out lazy stuff, you're gonna get bad results. But if you take time and perfect what you do and make it worthwhile, just like this, Sheena, people are only going to invest when they see the potential there. If that makes sense, what I'm saying.
Yeah,
Like,
absolutely.
like when you become like you want people to invest what you got going on, they got to see, okay, is I'm gonna get a return on this investment. You know, people pay you on your performance. That's why I believe. I'm not just going. I'm not. You have to work for it. You know, if you want something bad enough, you have to get out there and work, right? Instead of handing
Absolutely.
it to you. Because if I hand it to you, you're not gonna appreciate the value if I just hand it to you. But if you work for it, you gonna appreciate the value of it. You know, you know what I'm saying on that one.
Absolutely. I absolutely everything you're saying, I completely agree.
Yeah, because when you work at something, you gonna appreciate it, the value of it. You know, I'm not just hand it to you. If I hand it to you, you're gonna work for it. You know, it's like okay, just like this. It was told I'm gonna be a millionaire. It was told that hey, you and your wife gonna be millionaires. That was told back to me in 2009. I look forward to that fruition. I always desire that anyway. But making millions and worth millions of dollars, and you have children, I don't want them to have that. I want them to work too. You know what I'm saying? Then I don't want them. Okay, I hand it to you, but I want you to earn it. You know what I'm saying? At the same
Yeah,
time, because if I just hand you the keys to the kingdom, you're not gonna appreciate the value of it. You just whatever. But if you work for it, you appreciate the value. What you want to say about that one? The appreciate of the value of stuff. I'm
I
just
agree
doing
with
that.
you. I agree with you. I feel like as far as children, like when I go to do vending events, because I am also an author, a published author. By the way, I have some of my books up in here. Oh, that's where can't really see it like that. All right. But when I go to vending events, I take my son with me so he can see like what it takes, and he enjoys doing it because he enjoys speaking to people and saying, "Oh, you want to get this book?" You know what I mean? Like, so it is about like creating that mindset for them so that when they do take over the kingdom, take over the empire, they understand the hard work that it took to get there, and they're able to appreciate it more. And they also understands like the ins and outs. You know what I mean? Just
Right.
as like how to keep it going and
Yeah.
keep it moving. I think that is very important. There was something else that I kind of wanted to touch on, but I don't remember.
It's gonna it will come up, but like I said, it's all about building the kingdom,
Yeah,
building the empire, and that's what I hold on to. You know, it's just
absolutely.
creating this life that we live. You know, everybody wants to have that financial freedom. You know, and you should. We were not put on here just to waste. We
Yeah,
was put on here to create things and make things happen. And all of that passing on down to our children. You know what I'm saying? It's by keeping that legacy going, keep that legacy going. I just think like that, Sheen. I really do. And I just get that mindset
hmm,
and write this stuff down and have it highlighted.
absolutely.
Because I always say this all the time, not being human. You know, humans are weird, and I don't want to be that. I don't want to be like normal humans. I don't want to be like humans. I want to be extraordinary. That's why who I get with, I want them to have the same mentality. I don't want her to be human. I want you to be extraordinary. I want you to
Yeah,
think
that's right.
outside the box. Want you to
Absolutely.
be creative. Because at the same, and I said this too with some coworkers. When you're in a relate, I won't be talking about this tonight. But when you're in a relationship, we supposed to inspire each other, we're supposed to motivate each other and hold each other accountable. If we are together, these are the things we need to be doing: motivate, inspire, and hold each other accountable, and not be bored and dull, but creating things, having goals. Okay, what are our goals together? Even though we have individual goals, but also we have goals together, and keep it going. Like, okay, let's sit down and put some things. Man, this stuff is so fun to me. Some people think it, but it's fun when you made it, because it's a. I don't care what nobody say. Marriage to me is a business. You have a business plan. You have a plan for business. You have a plan for marriage too. And you just say, okay, these are what we want to do. This is how we're gonna go about it. From home, raising a family. That's that's another whole other show, but that's still kind of fun to me, because we're building something, and that's how I look at it. Shane is always building something as well.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So go ahead and plug in your social media sites. How can people get in contact with you, follow you? And matter of fact, also your YouTube channel, so we can get those subscribers up as well. It don't cost you anything, ladies and gentlemen. Let's help get these subscriber numbers up on these YouTube channels. So go ahead.
Okay, cool. So what I was one of the things I was going to say is that you have really inspired me. You know what I mean? You know that in the conversations that we've had, inspired me to get back to pick back up on my podcast. You know what I mean? Because for a little while, I wouldn't say necessarily I got discouraged. But we could say it was a little bit of being discouraged, and then also just like life events happening. And I felt like I was like getting beat down. So you really inspired me to get my podcast back up and going. So thank you for that, Furman. Definitely appreciate it.
You're welcome. But like I say, I just want you to stay consistent with it. That's all. Hey, you started something, hey, you finish it. They're like with me. If I fall off, hey, I expect you, hey, Furman, to get back in the game. You started something, you finish it. So that's the accountability part. Hey, you started. I want you to see you finish it, and I want you to finish it all the way through. So you appreciate it.
Absolutely. So my Straight Outta Commit podcast is on YouTube. It's at Straight STR and number 8 Outta Commit. I don't think it's any underscores in there.
Okay.
It should be Straight Outta Commit. If you hashtag Sheena D, it should pop up. So definitely come over, show us a little bit of love, help us get our subscribers moving, like, comment, and subscribe. Look. Also, I have Motivating You on Purpose YouTube as well, where I go up there, I give a little bit of inspirational talk. I also give information, I don't want to say information, but I also tell stories of like my life and the things that I went through, because I feel like that the battle is not yours at the end of the day. And everyone can become inspired off your story. You don't know how many people have went through what you went through, and you telling your story, and you're able to overcome every single thing that you have went through, and that inspires them and gives them just a little bit of hope. And if I can give a person just a little bit of hope, I don't care if it's for 2.5 seconds, I feel like I have done my due diligence. I have done my job. Because I feel like my job is to be of service to the community. And healing, I mean, what better way? You know what I mean? So yeah, I basically, I share inspiration as far as things that I'm going through in my life. So the inspiration that I share, and I just was actually about to make a post about that. The things that I share, I'm not just putting it out there for other people. I'm also motivating myself at the same time.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because I have went through a lot. I don't even know if I actually told you, I was married before. I was in a domestic violence relationship. I am a domestic violence survivor. You know what I mean? And then on top of dealing with alcoholism and things like that, I have a story in real life. And it's a story that I want to be able to inspire others who are going through. So it is motivating you on purpose. Come on, voice. Don't leave me now. And so it's motivating you on purpose. I have books available at ianimetalpublishing.com. I am a author as well as a publisher. So we have authors who are also signed to the publishing company.
Okay.
And our books are basically teaching the youth the truth about themselves as far as energy, chakras, melanin, how the importance of your hair, how it's connected to your central nervous system. It has like a whole bunch of dope stuff in it. Grown people told me that they learned from the book. You know what I mean? So definitely, it's definitely a book. I feel like that is very important for our youth to have, because they have a whole bunch of other things that's telling them that they are powerless.
Oh yeah, they are.
To know that you're powerful.
That's it.
Yeah, and I think I basically have ran down a little bit of every single thing that I do. I can't think of anything else, but I do want, if anyone is in the Washington D.C. area, to please hit up this alcohol recovery hike that we have going on. If you are in recovery, if you're thinking about recovery, it's going to be super dope. You know, it's going to be a community of people who are on the path to recovery, wanting to stop, coming together, sharing stories if you so might want to, and then just doing like different types of meditation to make us feel whole again.
Yeah.
So to have a day away from the bottle, that's the whole importance of it, So very excited about that.
And you know what? Hey, and I love it. And I love it. Just keep it going, keep that fire going, keep the energy going, and live life. This is already the 5th month of 2024. And we got to ask ourselves, are we comfortable where we at? Or are we uncomfortable where we at? With me, it's more to done. It's more to accomplish. And I'm not talking about on the outside. I'm talking about on the inside. Because everything starts here first, right? So everything starts with the mind. So we work within. We're working within, and when we work within, then our outer world will change. We'll start seeing life different. Change your mind, change your life, and that's why I believe in as well. Also, that's why, like with the days that I'm off, like in the morning, I'm getting up at 3 in the morning, and I'm going to the gym by 4 to get my day started. Because that's why I train and I'm proud of myself because I actually been getting up at 3 in the morning. Hit the gym because I do believe in being healthy. But I did check my weight. I lost 3 pounds. So that motivates me even more. So yeah, it's all about taking care of yourself, looking good. Because we're looking more useful now compared, because I'm 42. So I'll be 43 next year. But Sheena, we're looking more useful now.
Yeah.
Compared to when you turn 40, you look old. But now 40, you're looking like you're still in your 20s. Mm-hmm. But I know it's our genetics. I know it's our genes. But most importantly, it's all about being healthy. And I remember I came across this guy at this vegan restaurant here in Arlington, where I live outside of Dallas. And this guy, I didn't know this guy from Adam, but he was sharing some stuff with me. And he was telling us the food that we're supposed to eat. And this was a black guy. And I do. We should eat healthy. They turned onto the toxic stuff that we eat in a day, like all that fried food and stuff that fix your cholesterol and high blood pressure. But that's a whole different broadcast. But Sheena, it's like we're going back to the basics now. We're actually going back to that landmark of learning who we are. I'm a big advocate of learning who you are first. Once we learn who we are first, we could take on this thing a whole lot better. Because we're learning ourselves. And it's not an overnight thing, ladies and gentlemen. When you learn yourself, it's not an overnight thing. It takes time. And you got to be consistent. Think about it. The habits that we learn, we didn't learn those habits overnight. That stuff kept going. And then now we have to pull back those layers of the things we were taught. That's why I had on one of my T-shirts, break bad habits and create legacy. I'll paraphrase when I say it. But breaking these bad habits. We all develop bad habits from childhood on up. A lot of us still do no bad habits in adulthood. But breaking those habits, you mentioned, like we're talking about with children, you have to be careful what you do in front of your kids. If you're wilding out in front of your children and they start wilding out, you get mad. Where you get that from? Because they seen you do it, So we have to be very mindful how we conduct ourselves before our children. You know what I'm saying? We gotta lead by example, right? So we gotta be careful how we can't say, well, don't do that. I'm doing it, but that makes me a hypocrite, right? I tell you not to steal, but I'm stealing. I'm telling you not to steal. They don't look, well, how are you telling me not to steal, but you stealing? I'm just throwing it out there. Makes you a hypocrite. So I'm not gonna hold you long, Sheena. I know you got some stuff you have to do and everything else. So, what word of advice, what sounds of wisdom do you want to share here with the audience before we get ready to depart?
What sounds of wisdom? I would say to understand that we are all on a journey.
Yes, we are.
We are all on a journey.
Yes, we are.
So don't beat yourself up too bad. You know what I mean? Your mistakes were made to happen so that you can learn and you can grow from them. So don't keep yourself in that mental space like, oh, I really messed up, or I can never forgive myself, because that's blocking your blessings. You know what I mean? It's meant for you to learn from it and to be able to navigate your life the way that you see fit.
Right.
While including with what it is that you learn. And you know what? That was so funny for me is that I don't even feel like I was this dope before.
Really?
No, I'm saying like when, ever since I have said no to alcohol, I have became this different person. I don't know if everybody around me may notice. Some people may not notice at all, but the way I carry myself is different. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I can see it.
And thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
The way that I like perceive things is different. I wouldn't say it's like too much off of what I have already like believe or thought, but I'm a little bit more firm in what it is that I know. Right. You know what I mean? What I know is that the connection with me and the divine. You know what I mean? Like I feel like I'm not trying to say that. All right, I'm gonna just say this. I feel like that there are a lot. There's a lot of spiritual people in the world. I feel like everybody's spiritual. We're in the spiritual realm. You know,
we are.
And then there's always, people who feel like that they're able to tell you things like about you, because they can hear, or they may be clairvoyant and things like that. But at the end of the day, please believe that we are all connected to the divine. You know what I mean? So can't nobody tell you anything about yourself that you don't already know, because we are connected to the divine. I'm not trying to take away no money from nobody, but I'm just saying that, so to speak. I'm probably rambling on. I don't even know what was my
No. You actually good, because if you go if you really read scripture or whatever, the whole thing about it is just really teaching who you are in the beginning. That's the only thing it's about. Teaching who you are in the beginning. The Bible tells you are God. The Bible tells you you are God. That's what the Bible tells. It's in the people's Bible. And that's stuff that was never taught in the church. And I'm not knocking church. I don't really deal with the organized religion. To me personally, it's a lot of emotions involved. It gets you so emotional, false confidence, and soon you leave that false hope, you go right back to your reality. No change, no conviction, no nothing. So I got out of that junk because I believe in total conversion. That's just me. That's my opinion. I believe in having a total conversion. Teach me who I am. Teach me who I really am, where I came from, my lineage, my bloodline. And once we grasp that, we become better. That's just my opinion. We become better. That's the only thing about it. It just teaches you who you are, But if you don't believe in yourself, like you said, what we here for. We was taught to believe in everything else, but don't believe in yourself. You believe in yourself, you're gonna do this and do that.
Yeah.
But you gotta believe in yourself. You have to believe in yourself. Some people think, oh, you can't do that. You still gotta believe in but you still have to believe in yourself. Faith without works is dead.
Absolutely.
I can pray to God all day long, but at the same time, I still have to make things happen. That's what I love about Solomon. Solomon asked for wisdom, and God granted him that. He didn't ask for long life. He didn't ask for no material stuff. He asked for stuff that he needed, and that's what we need. We need wisdom along this journey. You know what I'm saying? And that's what everything else gonna be added. But it's the point of God, give me wisdom. Give me the mindset to lead. Give me the mindset to learn. Give me the mindset to grow. That's what we should be praying about instead of praying, give me this house and give me this car. No, get the wisdom to get that stuff. Give me the wisdom to obtain what I need to attain. Once again, that's just my opinion. Everybody thinks differently, but faith without works is dead, ladies and gentlemen. If you're not, it's like this. If you want to go to the NBA, you can't be on the couch all day. You got to put in the work. You want to go in the NBA.
Yeah.
All the great ones before us, it don't change, ladies and gentlemen. Everything based on performance. It's your work ethic, how disciplined you are. Your nutrition plays a role. And a lot of people, they want to be entrepreneurs. In order to be a successful entrepreneur, it takes work. The grind is real. So Sheena, what you want to say about that? You have anything you want to share?
I just wanted to touch a little bit on when you were saying that the Bible said that ye are gods, because I remember when I had came into what would be considered as this consciousness, I would always put that in as a hashtag. And one of my cousins was like, "You better stop telling people they're gods." But why? You know what I mean? If I'm made in the image of God, why can't I say that? Why? And I feel like that's half the problem, and that's the reason why there's so much killing. There's the reason why there are people committing suicide. You know what I mean? It's because of that. They can't even see themselves being like God. I mean, I'm created in God's image. I'll say the divine's image.
Right.
Yeah,
because
I get to touch on that.
Oh no, you good. And that's what it's all about. That's why, God, goddesses, that's why they go back to the creativity when it comes to relationships, king, queen, God, goddesses. And that's the mindset that we should have. Hey, we're not even in this world. I tell you what, Sheena, we're not human. That goes to not having a human mindset. It's all about outside the box. That's why I love. In a word, you're not worried about what other people think about you. Some people not going to agree. Some, well, who cares? That's breaking the algorithm. Breaking the algorithm what other people think. And that's what we do. We worry about what other people think. What? Like you saying that, well, you need to stop telling people that, okay, you worry about what people think. And that's the issue. We worry about what people think of us. Who cares what people think about you? They're not paying your bills. You don't have to go home with them. And that's what we're on now. We in a society, everybody want to do stuff to impress people. Like a wedding. If you want to do a wedding, okay, that's on you. But a lot of times people want to do these weddings to impress people. This is my mentality. This is how it should be. What we decide to do, that's our business. It's supposed to be me and you against the world. But see, a lot of people want to include the world in their business. Yeah. That makes sense. Because when I say that, they want to do everything to please the world. They want to please the masses. No, you please each other. Whatever we decide to do, that's what we decide to do. You know what I'm saying? Like, why invest into a wedding when we could take that money and invest in our future?
Right. Absolutely.
Because it's about us. It's about being together. So we're not trying to impress people. And I said, and I go back to the point. Say that again.
And pay for them to eat.
Right.
That's all you know.
I say you would take that money and put that money towards our future. That's why I look at it. Mm-hmm. Because at the end of the day, reality sets in. Okay, we want to be financially secure. We want to be financially stable. We want want this money to grow. So we need to start putting this money to work where our future will be taken care of. You know what I'm saying? The family will be taken care of. If we start getting that mindset, ladies and gentlemen, we will be better off as people. We got to get out this world way of thinking. The world human way of thinking messes up bad, really bad. Mm-hmm. But I'm glad we're breaking it. Some people are breaking it. They are being enlightened and everything else. So that's all I had to say. Anything else you want to share before we ready to leave?
No, not at all. Just want to inspire everyone to keep the faith in all things that you do, and keep the faith.
Hey, that's it. Hey, we know we're gonna leave it like that. Keep the faith. So keep the faith. Like, ladies and gentlemen, I'll be back here tomorrow night, Wednesday night. Oh, is Wednesday night gonna be jam-packed? Wednesday night, ladies. Even though tonight's show was jam-packed too, but tomorrow night's gonna be jam-packed too. Tomorrow night we're gonna be talking about the state of emergency. We're gonna be talking about a lot of things that's going on in our world. Big shout out to Carl from Rise and Elevate. Will be on here tomorrow night. Big shout out to Patricia Law out of my hometown of Mobile. She's gonna be on tomorrow night. Also, big shout out to Chastity. She's gonna be co-hosting with me tomorrow night as well. I also give big shout out to Shiloh out of Houston, Texas. She's gonna be doing a financial segment on tomorrow's show. So we're gonna have a jam-packed show. Tonight we're jam-packed too. We'll have another jam-packed show on tomorrow at 7 Central. If you're on the West Coast, 5 p.m. And if you're on the East Coast, of course, 8 p.m. Also, I want to give a big shout out to those who watch us overseas in the Philippines, who've been supporting the podcast. A big shout out to Kenya, Africa as well, who've been supporting the podcast as well. People are loving the show over there. So big shout out to those who watch us overseas. They, we in the States, but big shout out to them. So I want to forget about them. Also, follow Sheena as well on her social media platforms. Support. That's what it's all about. And ladies and gentlemen, we're about to get ready to depart. Man, y'all have a great night. Enjoy your evening. Enjoy your day, wherever you may be at. I don't know where you at. Because some places it's early morning. You know what I'm saying? Some places late at night. But we don't know. But we know somewhere it's morning somewhere. But other than that, morning. Yeah, it is morning somewhere. So ladies and gentlemen, man, y'all have a great night. And I will see y'all tomorrow night here on the Walking This Way's Impact Voice podcast. Be blessed, everybody. Peace.